Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about manifestation, but a little differently than what we usually talk about. Okay, so we all know what method acting is, right? So method acting is when you become the character. You immerse in the character, you stop being yourself, quote unquote. You basically have the traits of the character. Okay? So a prime example is when Heath Ledger did the Joker. You guys remember in Batman with Heath Ledger did the Joker? Okay, so they said that he was so immersed in his character that he didn't properly transition out of the character because he got so dark. He started dressing like him. He basically became him, his mannerisms, his personality, the things that he wouldn't break character. So when you're in a scene and then they say cut, he will still be that character. And he was that character for months and months and months. Okay, so he totally immersed himself into the character. Another example is Denzel Washington. Okay, do you guys remember the movie Malcolm X? Okay, so when Denzel Washington played Malcolm X, you know Malcolm X was Muslim, right? He passed away. He was Muslim. And when you're Muslim, you do not eat pork. So as a way to get into character, Denzel Washington, he stopped eating pork. He started reading the Quran. He stopped taking any job offers for a whole year while he was preparing for to play Malcolm X. Okay, and you hear this time and time again. A lot of actors, they totally stop being themselves. Even another one is Jamie Foxx. When he was playing Ray Charles was blind, right? And so when they were at lunch, they were not shooting. Jamie Foxx was eating as if he was blind. He was talking like him. He was everything. And same goes for Will Smith and Muhammad Ali. They said that he was so immersed that it took him a couple movies to kind of stop talking like Muhammad Ali, because you would hear that accent, you know, the way Muhammad Ali talked in other roles. Like he just totally immersed into it. Okay, so I give those examples as those are some ways that people totally alleviate their reality and they become someone else. And it's so powerful and it's so real that sometimes it's hard to come out of it, right? It's hard to come out of it. You hear all these stories of people kind of going crazy or stuck in a character, or you know, if they're in a scary movie, they're just like stuck in a certain character, right? So I was thinking, like with manifestation, what if you use method acting while you're as a manifestation method, right? I hope I'm articulating this good. Okay, so all those examples that I use, those are all people who completely immersed themselves in a character. They became it. They felt it. So when you saw them on screen, you're like, yes, that is Malcolm X. That is not Denzel. I don't see Denzel. And people always say like their energy, you just feel the energy of that person's, the character that you're playing. Do that with manifestation, right? If you want to become rich, if you want to become famous, if you want to become an actor, whatever you desire, you have to totally immerse yourself into that character, right? Now, it's only going to be a character initially because you are gearing your body, your mind, your soul to be that person, right? But soon the things will open up to where you're not a character. That is you. So I guess what I'm trying to say, and I don't know if I'm getting the message through, but when you are method acting, you immerse yourself. You literally told your mind, I'm Malcolm X. I'm Malcolm X. I read the Quran. I'm Muslim. I don't eat pork. You start praying. You start doing everything that a Muslim would do, everything Malcolm X would do, until you're like, dang, I kind of forgot what I like because I'm so immersed. So what I'm saying is, for you to manifest who you want to be, what you want to be, what you want to do, you have to totally immerse yourself, almost like trick your mind, trick yourself, brainwash yourself, right? So you guys, you know, I always talk about subconscious mindset, all that. So it's almost like you have to get deep down to your subconscious mindset to convince yourself that you are him, you are her, you know? You have to know that in every fiber of your brain and your body and your soul and your spirit till you actually become her or him. Okay? So I don't know if I'm articulating it exactly the way I desire, but I have a couple of videos that I want you guys to watch to kind of see what I'm referring to. I may have to do a part 2 on this because I need to maybe get my mind together, because this is like super important method. Okay, now I know with method acting it can get dark because you're completely in that character, and typically those are some intense roles. But when you are manifesting exactly what you desire, you need to believe it. You need to believe it with every fiber of your being. You need to know, like, yes, I'm successful. Like, no one can tell you different. No one can tell you different, right? So when I'm saying method acting, you are literally like, yes, I'm her. You know what I mean? I got it. Move as if you got it, as if you already have it, which you do. You just haven't reached that timeline yet, right? Okay, so I may have to do a part 2 on this because I just think that is so important, and it's a really good method, and I'm just not sure if I'm really articulating myself good. But watch these videos and maybe you can kind of see where I'm coming from. But method acting as manifestation, okay?
Heath Ledger's father, Kim Ledger, has shared his son's diary that he kept while he was preparing for his role as the Joker. The video shows Mr. Ledger flipping through the pages of his son's diary while posting certain entries that show him completely immersing himself in the Joker, trying to become the character in some very dark posts.
So this is the diary. You know, he pretty well locked himself up in a hotel in his apartment for a month or so to sort of galvanise the upcoming character in his own mind. That was typical of Heath on any movie. He would certainly immerse himself in the upcoming character. And I think this was just a whole new level.
Now, these are some of the entries showing pictures of clowns and the Joker from the comics, with a list of things that make me laugh, saying blind babies, AIDS, and beloved pets dying in accidents. Here's a picture of him getting into character with makeup. This is terrifying. This looks like the Joker mixed with the Grinch. And this caption here talks about doing LSD and plucking your own eyeballs out with teaspoons. Very disturbing stuff. Here is some imagery from Pennywise from the movie It, as well as inspiration from A Clockwork Orange, talking about how it's simple. All he has to do is kill the Batman. More entries from A Clockwork Orange, which I never really put together, but definitely a lot of inspiration from that movie. And then the creepiest thing of all, the most eerie, is supposedly this is the last entry with him scribbling bye-bye in big letters right before he died. Now, on the one hand, this is fascinating stuff. His father said that this is what he did. He would immerse himself in these characters. It seems like for over a month, he locked himself into this, trying to become the Joker. On the other hand, I think this is stuff that we often make fun of a lot of other actors for. You know, Daniel Day-Lewis doing his method acting. Jeremy Strong gets clowned on the internet all the time for how serious he takes his acting and how he tries to become the character. But for Heath Ledger, you know, primarily because he passed away and because we love the Joker so much, we put him on this pedestal about how awesome and amazing it is. Don't get me wrong, I think Heath Ledger was amazing and was on the precipice of becoming an absolute superstar with the Joker role and then Brokeback Mountain, but it's just interesting to see kind of the double standards of certain actors who do the method acting and how we treat them versus Heath Ledger after he died. I'm just happy to hear that his father and other family members reported that there was no truth to the idea that the character of the Joker weighed on him psychologically to the point that he committed suicide. His father said that he was very excited about where his career was headed and very excited about the future roles that he was about to take on, and it was just a tragic accident. It had nothing to do with the Joker consuming his mind. All fascinating stuff from an absolutely great actor who was one of Hollywood's greatest what-if stories.
Method acting. You only ever see people doing the method when they're playing an asshole. Method acting, of course, is the technique through which performers immerse themselves in the characters in an attempt to deliver a more authentic performance. Actors like Pattinson, however, have recently spoken out against method acting. Here's what Samuel L. Jackson had to say.
It's a job of playing make-believe. You're supposed to be able to safely come into this space, work, give emotionally, and not be harmed by it.
Despite the backlash, method acting is still frequently adopted by actors. Jared Leto, for example, incorporated method acting into his role for Morbius, going so far as to using his crutches, which he didn't need, to go to the bathroom, leading to delays of up to 45 minutes during production. Actor Will Poulter is against such behavior, saying, "If your process creates an inhospitable environment, then to me you've lost sight of what's important. Method acting shouldn't be used as an excuse for inappropriate behavior, and it definitely has. Should method acting stay, or is it time for it
Method acting gone too far, part 9. In 1984, Nicolas Cage was casted in a war drama called Birdie. In the film, he plays a disfigured Vietnam veteran that goes to visit his friend at a hospital. To prepare for the role, the then 19-year-old Nicolas Cage had all 4 of his wisdom teeth taken out with no anesthesia. He also spent weeks straight with his face bandaged to experience the physical pain and discomfort his character was going through. And in 2020, Nicolas Cage is set to play Joe Exotic in an upcoming TV series, which should be
sit down and let their body relax, totally relax, and then start to visualize in their mind, see themselves the way they want to see themselves. See how you'd like to live your life. See yourself living it that way. Okay. Now understand that that's a picture in your mind. Take that picture and describe it. Write it out in the present tense. I am so happy now that I see myself, and write it out. Start to read it and read it and read it and read it every day. Carry it around and keep reading it. The one point that all the great teachers all down through history have all agreed on, they've been in complete unanimous agreement on it, we become what we think about. Now, it may be fantasy at first, it might even appear to us as being a lie, but if you read it often enough, you'll start to believe it.